crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
I trip out on that. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!
Introducing your lineup for the Cowboy Up podcast. From Stop 6, Texas, the big fella, Dallas Cowboy Chris. And from the 915, Cholo Town, 21, can you do something for me? Armando, 21, Armando. And from the capital city, my man, allow me to butt in sports, hook 'em, Rue. And from the great state of Arizona, and he's mic'd up, he's Mikey, 520.
What's up, Cowboy fans? What's happening? Welcome to the Cowboy Up podcast. It's your boy, Dallas Cowboy Chris, and alongside with the crew, that's what our handle is on our WhatsApp, the crew, my man from the 915, Armando, 21 Armando, and from the capital city of Texas, my man, allow me to butt in sports, Rue, and from always the great state of Arizona, and he's always mic'd up, and you better bear down, Mikey, 520.
It says Mickey 520 down there. Just so you know.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing tonight,
we drink that Mickey's shit.
I don't know about y'all. You got money now, Mondo. You can't be drinking that.
As I say, we used to get that bumblebee. Yeah,
not the
$1.49, $1.49.
What's up, fellas, man?
That should have tear your liver up, man. I can't believe y'all used to drink that crap, man. What's up with y'all?
Man,
hey, dude, don't sleep on those Zima citruses, yo. Those malt liquor.
And shit, it was always them MDs for us. Them MD 2020s were fucking dope.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Just don't give me that sangria one.
That's put some soliditos in it. What you talking about?
But it's funny y'all say, hey man, y'all know the big fella didn't have his first drink till he was 26 years old. And they was throwing me a birthday party, surprise birthday party. My one of my brother's friends bought me a hurricane. And he said, man, you're gonna like it. It's nice and fruity, it ain't too strong. Well, after 3 hurricanes, I couldn't even remember my damn name. And then the rest was history.
And he wonders why his blood sugar is up.
Before he called it that slurricane.
Yeah, the slurricane. And then I didn't have my first beer till I think I was 30. So yeah, I was a late bloomer, man. I was trying to be an athlete, but you know, that shit failed. But Cowboy Up podcast, man. Hey man, good to see y'all. It's another Tuesday. You know, we got a lot of things to talk about. You know, the title of the show is Free Agents. Who we looking for? Who should we go after? But we got other news on the show and everything like that. I was listening to TikTok. You know how I be on in the background. You kind of scrolling, you really ain't paying attention to it, right?
Right.
and they brought up a little clip about Jimmy Johnson, right? And they brought up the clip of Jimmy Johnson, and Jimmy Johnson was actually like a tongue-in-cheek thing of him saying that he is a consultant for the Dallas Cowboys, right? So,
Yes, sir.
did y'all hear this, and what do y'all think about it? Rue, what you think, babe?
Man, I've only seen like little bits and clips, but I tell you this, I would love that. I would love Jimmy Johnson inside the building. I mean, who wouldn't? I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that dude is still very in tune with what's going on in the NFL and in college, with everything that he does and just who he is. It would be outstanding to have somebody like that in Jerry's ear if he's actually willing to listen, if he's actually willing to sit back and take in what he says for what it is, and give him his just due for what comes of it. Ultimately, that's what broke them apart, and I think that could be what mends them all back together, is the fact that you let him even do something like that, and you actually take his word for what it is and give him the credit that he's due for it. But damn it, man, I'd love to have him in the building, and I think it'd be a beautiful thing to have him in Cherry Jones's ear, no doubt about it.
Mm. Mikey, what you think about the rumor, or
Do you
do you
think?
believe it's true, or if it is
I
true, or
think
what do you think about it?
it's just the maturation of their relationship and the rekindling of their relationship, and how far Jerry is grown, and how much he's buried in this hatchet, along where he sees his mortality. And just the way he used to dig and plunge for oil fields, he's just going back to that old well that struck it big, and it doesn't hurt, and it ingratiates himself with us as fans and our nostalgia of Cowboys glory past. But going along the lines with the big narrative, and it's a big culture change. I know that's what we've been talking about. That's the buzz on the media right now. That's the buzz coming at the tip of the tongue of the big mouth himself, which he'll be named later. But it'd be an infusion of a culture change, and a culture that won 3 championships in 4 years, and his handprints are all that, and bringing in Mike Zimmer as a new DC, and that's another culture change for our defense, considering all the murmurs and the finger pointing and all the rock throwing that's been happening, and the lack of effort in this the football team in the first round. So when we thought we got this beautiful woman in this football team, we ended up having Lene Kukua in the first round, and we were duped and hoaxed. So hopefully, this is the best thing for us going forward as far as the culture change, and it's great, and it's great to see Jerry and Jimmy, back to the beginning, because that's what it was, the beginning, Jerry and Jimmy.
21, what you think about the rumor, or do you think it's true or not?
I mean, you know what? For a lot of us, I feel like it's nostalgic. It's Jimmy Johnson, baby. How about them Cowboys? So it's obviously a good thing for us. If it's true, there was an audio that did come out. If you guys listen to the audio, so they're laughing about it. So you don't know if it's kind of a joke, but maybe there's some truth to it. So if there is truth to it, it's a blessing, because we all know what that era was about, and we're all, I think, as Cowboy fans, we kind of want that grit era back in Dallas Cowboys. We need that, that passion that we saw when he was just getting inducted into the Ring of Honor. We saw that passion. So if he has that passion, which we know he does, and if he's bringing that into Jerry Jones and Steven Jones' ears, that's something that is definitely a plus for Cowboys Nation. We need, you know, like I said, it's nostalgic, and we know what that brought when we witnessed it with the Jimmy Johnson era. So I'm loving it. If there's truth to it, I want to see what kind of input he does have in whatever it is, which is it the draft, is it is it free agency, which we're gonna get into, whatever it is, I want to see his input, and I would love that.
Man, you are correct because when you said the passion in all of us when we saw Jimmy at halftime and he hyped up everybody, and the Cowboys damn near lost that damn game. I was gonna walk to Arlington and whoop their ass if they'd have lost the Jimmy Johnson game.
Everybody saw it except the Cowboys.
Yeah, everybody except, man. But look, man, we also wanted to talk about Dak Prescott and new contract. His the cap hit. Say if he signs, Jesus, how much would it be? How much was it, Mikey? Again,
It was 60,000. Well, right now our cap number is going to be 65 million if he stays with the numbers. So the extension, he's going to restart the market. He did it a couple of years ago, but now he's 10th on the list. But what the Cowboys need to do is, with negotiating, is to say, hey, if you do something cap friendly and kick it down the road, like the Fugazi cap that our friend always says, it could pay dividends if they pay it with a high signing bonus and then kick it down the road like they always do.
but I guess setting the market at the quarterback position to me is just what it's going to be, man, every year. I mean, because it's going to be a good quarterback that's going to come up every year, and their negotiation tactics is going to be, I want more than such and such. Okay, like last year it was Lamar Jackson that set the market, right? So, honestly, we all compared the numbers between Lamar and Dak, and basically Dak was better. Only difference is Dak hadn't been to NFC championship game and Lamar has been to AFCs, right? So I'm like, to me, it's going to be tough, man. The quarterback market is just ridiculous, man. I don't really know how to judge it. I don't know no NFL player these days is gonna, take team-friendly deals. I really don't. We want them to do it so we can sign more players, but do you really think, Rue, that Dak will take a team-friendly deal?
Will he take a team-friendly deal?
Yes.
By history's account, no. But we do have more leverage right now in terms of what you'd be looking at compared to what it was. And I mean, obviously he was coming off the injury when it finally happened for him. But this is another situation where it's like, look, we got to put a team around you. And right now, all these free agent moves that we're talking about or are about to soon be talking about, none of this happens without an extension for Dak Prescott. None of it happens. Because right now we're 20 million upside down in the cap. We're upside down 20 million against the cap with his current cap hit right at $59 million. So at this point, we're talking about extending him. And if I was going to extend him at this point, if you're really talking about going all in and you're going to sell him this story of, I'm going to get some guys, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, we're going to go all in on this season, but we need this help from you, you got to give him like a Pat Mahomes kind of deal. And what I mean is long-term, big money. 8-year, 10-year contract. You all in, and you spread that money out, and you shorten up that lifespan. Because if we really think about it, Patrick Mahomes is getting paid $45 million a year. He signed that contract, 10 years, $450 million. That's what he got. $45 million a year is what he's taking. And if you look, Kansas City's doing pretty damn well against the cap. They're going to come back even better next year. They got cap space. They got room. This is what you have to do with Dak Prescott if you're really talking about going all in on Dak Prescott. And I know I'm going to hear the chirps about Dak Prescott because we all have our different opinions about Dak Prescott. And quite frankly, we all have different opinions about him after that playoff game and how they ended the season and how after everything that we've heard, it just sounds more and more like they were soft, they were ill prepared, both sides of the ball, everything from the top down, and you're the leader. So it's a reflection of you because you're the leader. So what it boils down to is, are we really going all in? Because if we are, that's the only window that I see where you're actually going to be able to put these pieces around him that we're talking about. We don't get the big gap for the cap until next season. Next season, we get $94 million against the, or not next season, the year after. It's $94 million that we'll get. I can't see what you're showing me. It's blurry. Yeah, 59. That's what I said. What is it? 4 year?
No, it's just so they could see for content, so we're not just bloviating and we don't know what we're talking about. So you were right. It's 59.45 million salary cap hit in 2024 of the final year of 4 year of $160 million deal. So this is the final year. They're not going to rest it on the final year. I honestly haven't heard of an extension, Chris. I know that you put $60 million, and that's what maybe that is what's projected. But maybe he has a high signing bonus, but his cap hit will be low. Maybe that's what I see them doing, and then backload it. So this would be the all-in year. Like when they say all in, that's what they're meaning. This is the last real year we could actually do this until we're in real purgatory. We're going to be in purgatory, contract purgatory until in 2025 period. Just think about it like that. We're going to be the LA Rams. So that's where they get off saying all in.
Real quick, because next season there is a big gap. Like we get a big boost next season. If everything stays as it is, obviously things are going to change. So that number is going to change depending on who they bring on and take off or whatever. But we get a lot of money back in the following year because right now we have a lot of dead money hitting us too. But I say all that to say this. Everything flows through what happens with Dak Prescott. And the only way I see it moving forward is with that extension. If they get the extension done, they free up to basically get us even. And obviously other things have to flow at that point because you still have Zach Martin, D-Law. You got people to deal with that are at the top of the ranks in terms of who we owe money to in the upcoming year.
But they're under contract. That's already factored in. The people that we're going to owe money to or we're going to be seeing are CD Lamb and Micah Parsons, period. Yeah. And that's the piece of the pie that we don't have allocated. That's the ambiguity of the piece of the pie. That's what has you squirming if it's going to make us or break us. And, you know, I heard Mike Tannenbaum talk about it on Get Up this morning, matter of fact, about, you know what, by giving them big contracts, give them huge signing bonuses, and then backload it. That's the only way they're going to get themselves out of cap hell, by overpaying them and then pushing it down and having a glimpse of a real competitive season this next season.
Isn't that like D-Law? We've been doing that with D-Law, right?
Yeah.
They gave him that big contract and they just been pushing it.
No, well, he actually took a cut. He took a cut. That's why you know, when they say, oh, he was once of the highest paid, but once he didn't live up to it, he actually forfeited money that he didn't get, not even in a signing bonus. He took the pay cut.
You know, and Tyron did it for years too. You know, it's a lot of players that done it, you know, but it's kind of hard with a quarterback. But you know, if they backload it, you know, it is what it is. It kind of remind me of the teams of the 90s when they used to backload all those contracts and it came out. We was in cap hell for most of the 2000s, and that kind of killed our, you know,
I think they
6 years.
But we're talking about leverage earlier, and this time around, I think that it was very deliberate that they did the contract this way. They knew they were going to renegotiate before Dak Prescott was renegotiating because he did all that work. He won all those games, but he wasn't paid. This time around, he was paid. Yeah. So that's the leverage that the Cowboys have on him and us as his public perception of him. Not to mention the shit he took in the bed in this freaking playoff game. So if he works with us, and we're not asking him to do a Tom Brady contract, but we all wish he played more like Tom Brady than taking a Tom Brady contract. But just a team-friendly contract to have his CD Lamb, to have Micah Parsons, to let them get their money because he got his money. You know, a Super Bowl will pay dividends and they'll eat on that for the rest of their lives. Like
Yeah.
a 6th Super Bowl for the Cowboys is worth any Super Bowl to any team in the league. It automatically jumps the Cowboys' worth to 2 billion. It makes them 2 billion more valuable if they win a Super Bowl. That's ridiculous. Tom Brady leaves the Patriots. The Patriots used to be number 2 value team with us year by year by year. Tom Brady leaves and they've lost substantially, where it's the New York Giants that are ranked 2nd next to us as far as one of the most valuable teams in the league. So the Cowboys will lose players, but they will never lose their value.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the title of the show. Let's talk about some free agents, guys. And who could help the Cowboys get a little better? Because our main complaints last year was running back, linebacker, defensive line, especially in the middle of the line. You know, we complained about that. And you know, the draft is always one of those things that, you know, especially last year with the Cowboys, it wasn't always 100%. You know, I think our draft was 10%, and that was a Schoonmaker, and that was barely it. Everybody else was basically a no-show. So, but the Cowboys, man, really hadn't done much in free agency other than Stephon Gilmore last year, right? And that was a big hit for us. We were just like, maybe that takes that number 5 pick from Amari back, you know. But this year, man, which area do you think that we need to go? We'll start with you, 21, at free agency. Who is your player that you want, man, just really badly that will fit with the Cowboys?
I want to go running back. Running back off the rip. We saw the non-production with Tony Pollard, you know, and it was just, you know, it was at times where we were like, man, if we had so and so, you know. So that's one of the big, I feel like, on the offensive side, we need that a big back, you know. And with this, obviously the big name is number 3, which is Derrick Henry, but guys, I mean, Josh Jacobs, I wouldn't mind Josh Jacobs. You know, Josh Jacobs, I feel like, you know, a little bit more on the, you know, I know he's kind of a Tony Pollard-ish type of running back, but I feel like he's more of a, you know, more of a heavy back. You know, I don't know the weight and size difference, but Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry type, you know, that's where I would start.
Sorry about that, man. I was messing around. I apologize. So, you're not thinking about this guy at all?
I like that guy too, man. I wouldn't mind that guy. That guy's, you know, I feel like with our offensive line, we can make him work.
He just pulled a hamstring looking at his picture. Hey man, Miles Austin.
Say, hey, but you gotta think about it like this though. You know, I'm like this, but when the cat is healthy, he is productive. Rue, what you think about Saquon, man?
I'm out.
You're out? Okay.
I am out. I'm sticking to what I've said for a while, and the more I think about it, the more, damn it.
Take him to the Chinese place. Just drive around the Chinese food place, and they'll shut the hell up.
You stupid.
I know we talked about getting sound effects.
Yeah. Hey, Rue Dog is like, man, I'm going on this damn show whether you like it or not. So Rue's out on Saquon. Mikey, what do you think about this fella here?
No No free agent running backs unless they're $2 million. Rue made that big old presentation to us last year about running backs and free agent running backs and giving any running back any kind of money. The only reason this Super Bowl we had Pacheco obviously, which was a 6th round pick, and
Mhm.
and you had McCaffrey. The only reason McCaffrey works with the 49ers is because they have a Mr. Irrelevant quarterback. So it doesn't count that much against his cap. And, you know, they work around them not paying their quarterback. So that's why that works. Like we just came off saying all the mouths we have to feed. And these free agent running backs are gonna want their money, even though they're devalued. An aging Derrick Henry doesn't do it for me. A frail, a frail uh, Saquon Barkley, that's up in the air. But a kid like A-Chain, a kid like Gibbs, like a kid like Gibbs, and what that did for Detroit, the explosiveness. We could find a running back in the draft. We just gotta look for him. We gotta set our mind to what we're gonna get and get that running back. We see Zeke there. We missed his 1 yard running ability. If they get him for 2,000 or 2 million, even 1,500,000 and under, that would be good. But aside from that, I wouldn't even. If they're not for a camp body, I don't want to see my team invest any free agent money or the pieces of a pie on a running back.
Y'all got any interest in Dobbins from the Ravens after his injury season?
No.
Injury career.
Yeah, he hasn't played a full year.
Yeah, I don't think he played. I don't think he played a full year since he left Ohio State.
Exactly.
Right.
I think you left that voodoo on. You forgot to take that doll off after he turned in his Buckeye helmet.
It's been. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Those are big names for running backs. Do you think that they're going to try to? Because we saw the controversy last season with all the running backs. Do you think they're going to try to get back into that market where they're not devalued? Because they're devalued, and we saw it. We saw, like Mikey says, the draft. I think that's going to be the best case. But do you think they're going to, are they going to want big money? Are they going to be willing to take? Because these are big names out there for as far as
The big three I see Josh Jacobs, King Henry, and Saquon really trying to get their money and working a team. And there is a fool out there that's gonna give them their money. You know what I mean? They're always out there. But we are not that fool. We can't be that fool. We cannot. Tony
Mikey,
Pollard again. I know this season wasn't big, but it'd be his second season off that injury. But if we, like I said, we get him under 4 million, then we're talking. If he thinks himself more, then buy Felicia straight up, because we can't. We just can't invest that part of our pie, because we got hungry mouths. We got some Rottweilers we got to feed.
So Rue, I know you've been that big proponent of not paying running backs. Your opinion, should we just focus on the draft, or should we focus on a free agent? Which path do you prefer the Cowboys go at the running back position?
The only player that I have a different opinion on is Derrick Henry. And the main reason I have a different opinion on Derrick Henry is because his market value is around $5 million. By all accounts, everything that I've seen, he's around $5 million a year. And for $5 million, I'll take Derrick Henry. Absolutely. We had a problem in the red zone, not anymore with Derrick Henry. We had a problem being a one-dimensional defense, not anymore with Derrick Henry. You still have to respect Derrick Henry for what he is. Now, does he still have it is another big question. He's been in this league for a long time, just as long as Zeke. Same draft, taken in the second round. And I'll bring up the draft. Whether you pick him up or not, you need to draft a running back later on in these rounds, and you can take a shot on somebody in a later round, 5th, 6th, 7th round. We've seen other running backs come out and be, good, serviceable running backs. You're not always going to end up with a Saquon, Josh Jacobs, or anything like that. Saquon's going to get like 14 million, 12 million. That's going to happen because that's his hit. I'm not paying that. No freaking way. Not for Saquon Barkley. Not for 14, 15 games. Can't have it. With Josh Jacobs, he had a great year, average year, like and kind of below average for his status. He really fell off. And obviously the Raiders had their problems this year. Can't really dog him that much when your team around you is just kind of, just that bad. But again, we're talking tens of millions of dollars here, 12, 13 million bucks. I'm not paying that for a running back when you can get them in the draft. I think you draft one regardless. But when it came down to it for me, I'm more focused, especially in free agency, because I can't name a team that gave up on a running back and was upset. Maybe the Panthers. Maybe the Panthers.
Yeah.
But Christian McCaffrey is, whatever. But I can't think of another one. And for years and years, we can go back to Le'Veon. We can go back even before that. Like even when Emmitt Smith tried to leave, try to get some money out of us. No, sir. Go to the Cardinals. Hang out with Mikey in Arizona.
You are correct on that. 21. What do you think, man? Free agent or draft one?
You know what? I'm gonna go with draft.
Okay.
I think
There we go. We flipped them.
You guys got me. Mikey got me, man. I think draft. And I've seen a few guys out there that are looking good out there in that draft, but definitely the draft. I feel like we can get some in the later rounds. There's going to be a lot of guys out there, and Cowboys is always a big name, so definitely I would go with the draft.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next group, man. We got O-line, man. We got guards, and we got center. Do y'all see who's the number one center on the free agent list? A guy who we just let walk away because he wasn't strong enough. He wasn't consistent. He got a lot of holding calls and everything like that. I believe his name is Connor Williams. He is a free agent. Are y'all even thinking, or would you even consider bringing Connor back?
Oh, well, the interesting part is something that what I said a couple of weeks ago about our scouting department. We lead the league since 2015 in players drafted that make the league. If you put that list again, put it up again, boss.
Okay, let me get it back up for you, brother. I'm sorry.
There's 30% of that list wore Cowboy jerseys. You got.
Let's see. Oh, that's the guards. Here's the.
You got Connor Williams. You got Connor McGovern, and you got Tyler Biadasz.
That's funny, ain't it? That's funny.
That's amazing of our scouting department. Guys that Connor McGovern, he was that guy. He was a guy until he wasn't that guy. So, and he was a backup to Travis Frederick and a backup to Connor Williams.
But he started at guard a couple games though. McGovern. So,
yeah, so it's amazing what we could scout. Maybe we have, this could be something that he can negotiate back. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Connor Williams back. But again, the draft is big O-line heavy this year. It's really wide receiver heavy and it's O-line heavy.
Mike, I got one question for you though, Mike. I'm glad you said. I got a question for you, Mikey.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you want a rookie there, or you want that proven veteran man that keep moving and keep going, where you ain't got it's a plug and play with a veteran. With a rookie, sometimes it's growing pains. Which one would you prefer, Mikey? The rookie or the veteran?
Wow, it's a conundrum with us because, of course, you want the veteran in his man body with his NFL weight training regimen and health schedule opposed to that. But then again, we didn't know this kid out of Tulsa. They anointed him with the number 73, and he was formidable. So I do trust Will McClay in our scouting department. This is hard. This is a hard question, Chris, and I'll shoot it back to you after I answer it. How about that?
Okay.
What was Connor Williams' problems? And his problems were his holding,
Strength and hope.
his strength and holding. He couldn't hold up. We didn't see him at the center position, so that's interesting to me.
Well, you got to remember,
as a center,
they,
but we knew what Connor McGovern was. Connor McGovern was actually pretty good. If any of those three, because I don't see us signing Tyler Biadasz again, honestly.
No,
I would get Connor McGovern out of the free agent list just because he was solid and he did his job. But Brock Hoffman is something to deal with that people are sleeping on because he could have a good offseason.
Well, you got to remember when Williams was here. Remember in training camp they was practicing him at center. But the whole problem is when Williams got to the Cowboys, and Rue, you saw him all 4 years at Texas. You know, he was playing tackle, but when he moved him to the interior, it's a different kind of strength. You know, at tackle you're more athletic. Okay. When you go in that middle, you got to be big and you got to be strong. And I think Connor was getting those holding calls because he wasn't strong enough, and he wasn't, because it's nothing but folks my size in that middle. You got to hold us big boys, you know. So you got to have good technique against us big boys. 21, man, what you think about?
O-line's always holding. They just don't call
about the O-line, Connor Williams or McGovern, man. Are you interested in either bringing them back to the Cowboys?
You know what? I'm really big on. I was liking Biadasz, man. Biadasz was looking, you know, towards the end of the season. I wouldn't mind, you know, bringing him back, but like Mikey says, man, that Brock Hoffman, he's looking like he's putting in work right now. As far as Connor McGovern, I think a corner was talking about that's not the same McGovern that. This is what he's saying. The Connor McGovern, the one that used to be on the Cowboys, is with the Bills now. I guess it's a different one. The one on that list.
Yeah,
but
he's right. He's right.
Yeah, that's, you know. So I think I would be good with, if we're gonna draft, then I'm fine with that. But you know, I was liking Biadasz, man. I don't know, Biadasz was growing on me towards the end, you know. But you know, obviously you know, big fella, you know, that's your what do you call it? That's your neck of the woods right there.
That's your lane right there, boy.
That is, and remember at first I was not a big Biadasz fan, you know, and then he made me a believer, you know, in training camp. But to me now, you know, we got spoiled with Fredericks. Fredericks spoiled us, man. You know, you gotta, hey, Rue, am I right? Because when Frederick was here, man, it was no doubt what was going to happen in the middle with Fredericks and Zach. It was a lot, man. That's why Zeke got a lot of his yards right up the middle. You know that, right?
Oh, so, sir, we do, sir. And everything. He didn't get to 7 yards downfield. Even Joseph Randall.
The Pittsburgh game.
Yep. Yes,
the Pittsburgh game. Like, damn it.
No, that was Gavin Escobar sealing that edge, man. Good night, Irene.
So that's why, man, I was so off of Biadasz, because in my mind we had Travis Fredericks, and he was just not equaling up to Travis Frederick, and it was a disservice to him, and it was unfair to him because they're two different players, right? You know. And if I think
same college, we expected kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and you figure, you know, Frederick, man, with his ability, his athletic ability, man, and his smarts, man, we just thought he was going to be on the offensive line for a 15-year, and he only played 7, and it was just one of those things, man. We had Fredericks and we had Looney, because even Looney, the people didn't give Looney his props when he was here. And he plays center.
Looney's last play as a Dallas Cowboy, or one of his, was against the Redskins on what was it, on a screenplay where he freaking blocked 3 dudes and ragdolled 2 for a Zeke touchdown, bro. That was the Redskins last game.
So, I get hyped up when we start talking about offensive linemen. I'm sorry, guys. I know it may be boring to a lot of people, but that's my like Mike is and 21 said, that's my wheelhouse, man. And I like the big nasties, man. John Madden uses to call them the big uglies, down there. So because you got to get ugly in them trenches. Hey, Mike, shit. Mike is defensive player, defensive lineman. He know
That's
it's
what I
ugly
said, bro.
down there.
That's what I said. Old lineman always be holding.
Yeah, hey, it's physical and hey, we gotta make Rue and Armando look good. Them skill players. You know what I'm saying? They gotta look good. You gotta get ugly down there, man. And that's what I love, man. I just love the violence down there. That's all it is. It ain't nothing but short combat. That's all it is. Look, man, we'll move on to our next group, man. So we hit them, and let's go wide receivers. Or any. I know the one I want. We talked about him on the old podcast. Damn near the whole season and all season. I want Mike Evans. I want him. And does anybody on this list? We'll start with 21. 21 that you're interested in, man, to bring in to the Cowboys, man.
I like Mike Evans. We talked about him a lot. We talked about his consistency. We all know. We there's still. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Cooks. Is he also in that mix?
Let me see. Is he on this list?
He's still got a year left.
Yeah.
But
So,
I mean, that doesn't mean things can't be done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think the big name that sticks out is Mike Evans for me on that list.
Well, that 13 jersey is gonna be available.
Yeah, it's definitely, man. Because you think about it like this. You picture Mike as a possession receiver, but Mike can get downfield. He gets downfield, man. I know. I was watching his highlight packages today on ESPN. They were talking about him also, and I was like, Mike still can get downfield. He can get separations. Well, big 6'5" receiver, 235 pounds. Rue, what you think about Mike Evans, man? You think he fit in the silver and blue?
I would love Mike Evans. I just don't know if I can have him and CD. CD's going to hit a mark with his contract. Mike Evans is going to be looking for 20+ million a year. Mike Evans cap hit is 20 million.
Okay.
Mike Evans would be to be able to stretch the field with Mike Evans would be an excellent addition. I would love to see Mike. I mean, you bring him back to Texas. It's definitely a match for this team, and it definitely would help us, and it would push us to another level in terms of our deep threat and the ability to make you pick between him and CD and even Ferguson, who's going to be coming along, especially if those two are on his team. Mm-hmm. But can I have them both? Because I mean, the Bengals, a lot of these teams find themselves in this exact same situations. Can't keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Can I get a guy like Mike and CD, especially when CD's talking about what he's talking about in terms of what he's looking at getting paid?
He wants.
It makes it hard for me.
He said he wants.
Mike Thomas is still alive.
Oh yeah,
he's still there.
Oh
man.
Yeah.
So Rue, what about Pittman and for the Colts? To me, I'm kind of on Pittman. To me, he's a sometimey player to me. What you think about Pittman?
Sometimey, that's a good one.
I mean, really, because
really though, he had a lot of sometimey quarterbacks.
Well, that's true too.
So did Mike Evans, bro.
Yeah. Mike Evans is different. We're not talking about Mike Evans right now. We're talking about Michael Pittman. There's two different, completely different players. Completely different players. However, Michael Pittman, if he was that guy, he'd still be in Indianapolis. He's obviously not there for a reason. Guys don't give up number one receivers like that because they're hard and few and far between to come by. So I don't. Mike Pittman might take a prove it deal. Mike Pittman, if you wanted to take a shot at him, might take a prove it deal. But I want to focus on our coach that just came in. And KJ Osborne's on this list too. I know he's not very high on this list, but you're talking about a guy who can stretch the field. You're talking about a guy who got overshadowed by the likes of Justin Jefferson and, you know, some guys they have on that squad. You know, it could be just a chemistry thing, could be something like that, but I wouldn't be surprised to see his name brought up. But I really like DJ Chark too, man. DJ Chark got sent away to Carolina, and now he's available. Another guy who can stretch the field.
But
you know, I'm not looking for
Jacksonville. He started with Jacksonville, and he was
started with Jacksonville. They sent him to Carolina, and you know now he's already available. But it's just like, you know, I'd love a shot at DJ Chark. I mean, because I'm looking for a solid secondary piece, a solid, reliable secondary piece. And
but remember, Rule, this is a wide receiver heavy draft as well.
But
that's
why I'm focusing on these guys, because these guys are not going to cost you 20 million, 15, 18, 25 million. These guys are going to cost you less than 10. We're talking single digits for almost all of them. The most you'd probably pay for is DJ Chark. But like, reunite Cedric Wilson? Are we against taking him away from Miami?
Dude,
he's available. He already knows. I mean, he's already been here. We've seen him
and Dak have chemistry.
I'm just saying, Cedric Wilson's another name, not going to cost you a lot.
When you say Cedric Wilson, you'll always remember that catch against the Patriots when he high pointed it, that saved that drive and that basically won the game in a sense.
So Mikey, any of the receivers on this list you interested in, brother?
Right now he has my ears perking on Cedric Wilson just because of the chemistry and what he does for what we saw him do with CeeDee Lamb. Of course, we would want a Higgins. Of course, we would want a Mike Evans. Back to giving Mike Evans flowers. This guy has gone 10 seasons of 1,000 yards. Think about his quarterback.
Mikey, say it one more time. Say it one more time. Give me his stats one more time, Mikey. Give it to me one more time. How many?
10 seasons, 1,000 yards each season. He's already a Hall of Famer. And the kid is a good kid. His story is ridiculous. And that, you know what I mean? He came out of Texas A&M. He basically, who's old boy? He made old boy
Manziel.
So
he made that boy a lot of money.
He just made bake money. He's just unbelievable. So I know this is not a pro Buccaneers show, but you got to give credit where credit is due. And you know, we get football horny and we're football junkies, and that's one. But it's crazy. You know, I haven't said this word in a long time. Speaking about my words and pass crack. I guess we ended up smoking that pass crack this year
again.
Again, and you know what? That we got to come to terms that's what we're gonna do, and we, you know, with Cedric Wilson that works. Tyler Boyd, it would be a good option. Calvin Ridley, a compliment. We need more compliments to CeeDee Lamb, but Ridley has been a number one that could play into a number two because he's played with the likes of Julio Jones and Tyler Boyd. He was always open considering what they had on the Bengals, but he always made the big play. He was when I played fantasy, he was one of my favorite fantasy receivers to get. And then Mike Thomas,
I was going to ask you.
Like I said, he's been on a milk carton.
Is anybody
we love his pedigree and what he was, but you know, like, was it Derek Hamlin or whatever his name is for the Buffalo Bills, died on the field and came back, and this dude was still on the IR. So yeah, it is what it is.
All right. Well, look, let's move to the defensive side, man.
Real quick, before you move on, Chris. because I like Mondo. I usually refer to both of y'all when it comes to the O line, but I swear he read my mind on this one. WWE guy, man, yeah, Ivan Sosa. He read my mind on this one because in my head I'm like, if we're gonna extend Dak Prescott with my 24th pick, I'm getting him in center. It
Yeah.
just makes sense.
Yeah.
If I'm
it
gonna
does make
extend that
sense.
man and do that, give me his center. 24th pick. We familiar guy around that pick. We were all clamoring for. Cup
That-
love him.
what-
we
what
had
is it?
Linderbaum.
What's his name?
Oh,
We
Powers?
had
Powers?
him 2 years ago. We had him 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
I'm saying, that
but
seems
you
like
gotta
a
remember,
perfect
Well,
spot.
Powers is
Give me
good
that
from
center.
Oregon. He looks like he's gonna drop to us. His name is I forgot his name is it's something Powers, and he's actually for NFL ready, starter ready. He's Lindenbaum mask. We just didn't like
But-
Lindenbaum's short arms, but Powers we could move up or try to get him. He's the best center in the draft right now.
There's
But
nothing wrong with having short arms, guys.
Yeah, Mondo, I'm actually kind of over the Lindenbaum thing now because you got to think about it. If we draft the Lindenbaum, we don't get Tyler Smith.
Oh yeah.
Who has
So-
an
And I don't
all-pro?
regret that.
Who
I
has an
don't.
all-pro?
So, yeah, I mean,
The one
it-
I
it
might
is-
regret is
is.
Humphrey.
I got that video too. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it when it comes to I got that video.
Was he like no?
the big fella was confused.
Okay.
Listen, y'all gotta wait till I
Tyler.
post that video. The big fella was confused. He was like, "Man, Lindenbaum. I thought we was going Lindenbaum." And we ran into Cowboy fans at the draft, and we were literally sitting there, and they said Tyler Smith, and then the big fella was confused. But then he got a phone call talking about, hey, he's a hometown Tyler Smith, and so everything was kind of like, oh, we're good.
What's so bad? He played football with my nephew at North Crowley High School.
Wow.
I was like, Jesus, man. And I was just like, I felt a lot better then. I
I
was
thought
just
he went
like,
to
hey,
a barbecue and he
hometown.
was there.
Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, man, let's go to the defensive side. Now we knew our biggest deficiency last year. Our biggest deficiency last year was at the linebacker position, and it drove us all crazy. Once LVE got hurt, and I really believe that LVE career should be over. I mean, when you can't really play with neck injuries, man. In the NFL, I'd rather for the man to live the rest of his long life than to play in the NFL. So I am really excited about one player and one player only on this list. And Mondo, do you know who it may be?
Number 7.
One guy on the list, man, Patrick Queen.
You know it. You know it. I'm telling you. I am telling you. The Cowboys, if you pick up any free agent in this free agent season, this man right here, he is an absolute seek and destroy beast of a linebacker, and he can cover. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, and you ain't got to worry about nobody missing no tackles when he is on the field. I am really, really in favor of Patrick Queen. What y'all got, man? Who do y'all want? Because I want Patrick.
I want Devin White.
You want Devin? Okay.
I want his speed. I want Devin White. See, Patrick Queen, he's good, but he was you didn't hear anything about it because he was on the team and drafted number 1. But when Roquan got there, that's when you heard about him. But when he had to call plays and he had to be the leader of that defense, he wasn't as good until Roquan got there. Patrick
tackles.
Devin White, we've seen that guy run fast. We've seen him play great in a Super Bowl, and we've seen him play at LSU. I like his speed. I like what he could do. And then there's another thing about trading for CJ Mosley. I would love to trade for CJ Mosley, but I know that's a trade. But Devin White would be my linebacker.
What Queen had 92 tackles last year, baby. 92 tackles.
Next to Roquan Smith, Bubba.
That's true. Hey, that's just like saying how many tackles the San Francisco linebackers had. They had a good
Greenway
set.
and
They had a good set
and
of linebackers, bro.
Federico.
So, Rue, what you think about Queen?
I'd love Queen. I'd absolutely love Queen. And my rebuttal to you, I don't need him to. If he looked that good against next to Roquan, I'd love to see how he looks next to Micah. Love to see it.
Dude.
I'd love to see it. Because I tell you this, I don't need him. I don't need him to be that guy.
Get him to play linebacker.
Micah just told me. Micah just told me he's going to be the leader of this damn team. And you sit here and tell me, yeah, he don't play linebacker. Yeah, he don't play linebacker all the time, but he does play linebacker. You telling me he didn't line up at linebacker at all this season? Of course he did. We watched him do it.
We needed him to do it though. In the
he's going to be
adjustment,
there. And I'll tell you this: if Mike Zimmer decides he's going to put him at linebacker, guess where he's going to play?
Linebacker.
He's going to play at linebacker. Because Mike Zimmer, from all accounts, by everything that every last one of you has told me, he don't play that shit. So
yeah, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
If that's the way it's going to be, that's just the way it's going to be. But I'll tell you about Patrick
and
Queen.
at the same time, Mike
is
did
a hoss,
say
man.
I didn't play linebacker because they didn't put me on the field to play linebacker. Not that you should have beat down the door and know what the fuck your team needed.
All of a sudden, now you know what you need.
It's all talk until we see it happen. And that's all I'm saying is this is going to be proof in the pudding. And with Patrick Queen as an addition to this defense, you have a hoss, because you can't sit here and tell me that the Baltimore Ravens wasn't good and on defense before Roquan showed up. This dude was leading the way for this team. Yeah, they went and got him some help, but it's not like he's coming here helpless. He's got an elite defense around him that we saw do amazing things all year long. And what were they lacking? Exactly what he does. Give me Patrick Queen all day, every day, twice on Tuesday. I don't give a shit.
Every fucking
twice
day.
21.
21.
Cowboy update, baby.
Anybody on this list that you interested other than Queen?
Burks. I think Burks from the Niners. You know, I wouldn't mind stealing him away from them. You know, we saw the season that they had. I think that would, you know, that would especially throw in a big old middle finger to the Niners. So,
well, with Greenlaw tearing his Achilles, man, I think they're gonna hold on to him, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, just a random name to throw out there, just because Zimmer's here. What about Jordan Hicks? Longtime veteran, had some good seasons the last 3 years, played under Mike. Like, what do we think about Jordan Hicks?
We don't want no ex-Eagles on our team, bro.
It's depth. It's depth. And he's played for more franchises. He's an Eagle, Panther,
exactly.
Viking. He's whatever the hell you need him to be.
NFL streets.
He's closer to prime than he is to fucking Philadelphia Eagles.
Isn't he a Texas Longhorn?
We got somebody coming. We got somebody coming off an injury too.
Oh wait, no,
yeah,
no, he's
Overshawn. Not. Yeah, Overshawn is coming off the injury.
And then we forget about Overshawn. He's probably right and ready to go already.
But Overshawn is still a rookie. I'm talking about some veteran depth.
Yeah,
it's good to have that chemistry in the locker room. It's good to have a presence there, and it doesn't have to be a big name. He gonna be a big name as soon as he put the star on his helmet. But at the end of the day, it don't have to be somebody that I'm coming in expecting to make some huge difference in terms of changing the culture. It's just to have that peace of mind, that veteran leadership, that veteran, presence and example. Yeah. It's a guy who already knows his system. That's really all I'm thinking in that aspect. And you're talking about maybe we're not talking about a ton of money here.
Rue, let me ask you this. Okay. We know that was one of our biggest deficiencies on the defensive side as a linebacker. We bitched and complained about it the whole year. Okay.
Yes.
To me, it's the Cowboys' number one priority in free agent. I feel a veteran would do us more good than a rookie would do at this position. Okay. That's why I was so high on Queen. What you think, Bert? Which one would you prefer, the veteran or the rookie?
If I'm going to spend my money on something, I'm going to spend my money on something that I desperately need and that would make a huge impact on my defense. And Patrick Queen does that. I'm not saying that Devin White doesn't either. Like I do want to say that. I'm not saying that Devin White is a bad player,
but he
is older, if I'm not mistaken.
Queen is bigger, and our problem was,
and that's what Mike Zimmer wants. Mike Zimmer wants size.
David's light in the ass. So I like what Chris just said. As far as if anything we're going to get at a free agency, and if we're going to get the linebacker, let's get the fucking number one on the list. So you just flip me.
Well,
He's
I'm
only
happy
24.
that I could do that, bro.
He's only 24 years old. I just want to point that
Yeah.
out. He's 24. Like he's going to be 25 in the latter part of the year.
Dude, because you got to remember, just keep this image in your head of Clark getting his ass mollywopped in Buffalo, and then getting his ass mollywopped in Miami. You know, because all our linebackers was light in the ass. Okay,
Big fella ain't never
Light
gonna
in
let
the
that
ass.
go.
I can't let it go. 21, I can't. It was on
They carried
national
that man to the
TV
end zone,
when his
man.
ass, dude, they replayed his ass 2 weeks in a row getting mollywopped on fucking national
Dude,
TV.
Dawkins is a
And that
bad
shit
boy,
irritated
dog.
the hell out of me, man.
Let's
That
get
irritated
Dawkins. I
me.
want Dawkins here. Fuck that.
Bro,
Hey,
bro.
but hey, you know
why I
what?
say we got safeties playing linebacker. We got to get bigger. We got to.
And it's now,
We have
and,
to.
and if I'm with the big fella on this, if it's anything that we're gonna do in free agency, it's for the all in now. It's got to be a linebacker.
We got to.
Tell-
man.
Dude,
I got one for you though, Chris. I'm just curious.
Dude, I see it. They got us going. They were drinking the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the fucking Kool-Aid.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
you want to talk
Go
about
ahead.
the Kool-Aid, Mikey? You're gonna hate this one, Chris. I want to know your opinion on this one because it's another big fella that we're trying to get up in this defense.
Okay.
If it's not Queen,
Mhm.
what about Chris Jones?
No,
I know he's
Jones.
29. I know he's 29, but we've seen this man literally save them in Super Bowls the last 2 years.
I like
Bro,
I
he
like
don't make
Grover
his
Stewart
plays,
more.
they don't win. And
I'd
to
rather
clog
take
up the
Grover
middle of that
Stewart.
defensive line, interior.
Let's see.
Ugh.
Do I have that list? I thought I had the defensive list.
I'd rather take Grover Stewart, Bubba. His run win rate was number one against the run as a DT. He's 6'4", 315 pounds.
But if
And
you
we could
manage
get
to
him
keep
at a
D-Law,
good price.
if you manage
Yeah.
to keep D-Law and you tune up Osa and you put him next to a guy like Chris Jones, bro, you telling me you can't make that work?
No,
Dude,
we need to get the big
can't make that
fella
work.
at the star and go fuck with Mozzie. Like, for real.
This is the thing though. Chris Jones is the number one on Pro Football Focus. He's the number one free agent on the whole list of the whole NFL.
He is.
Kansas City has a serious dilemma. Okay. Chris Jones or that starting corner, I forget his name. God, I forget his name.
Sneed.
Sneed.
Bye,
So-
Sneed.
So
McDuffie
my
looked good.
whole thing is Chris Jones is the difference maker on that defense.
He is.
He was the
fucking
difference maker in the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting to, Mikey. He saved the fucking Super Bowl because if it wasn't for him, Ayuk is running wide fucking open. Ruth said that on the show last week. Ayuk was running wide open in the back of the end zone, but Chris Jones affected the play. He made the plays when he had to. Chris Jones. So my whole thing is, if Kansas City is fool enough to let Chris Jones walk, Chris Jones can pick any team in the NFL. He got 31 teams to choose from, and he can set his own market.
And
I
Chris
don't know if
Jones
he
is one of
I
Dak
don't know if
Prescott's best friends.
I don't know if he'll get close to Aaron Jones' money, but he'll get close. You know,
Aaron Donald money.
Aaron Donald. I meant Aaron Donald. Thank you.
No,
Mikey.
he's better than Aaron Donald right now. Right now, this second, he's better than Aaron Donald.
It's I still got Aaron Donald first, but
You just like
but-
his
but,
leverage,
hey, I
Bubba.
agree. I agree with you though, Mikey. Chris Jones is the man. Okay, so it's up to Kansas City if they gonna franchise him or not. But if they franchise him, they got to pay him a whole shitload of money. Okay, in one season, and I don't know if they cap can handle that. You know, so we gonna see. But to answer your question, Rue, that's one of them. I'm gonna back up the Brinks truck for him. I'm like shit because hey man, don't get me wrong. Y'all know I love my Michigan man Mozzie, but Mozzie was a big disappointment. Okay, Diggy Zua needs somebody that's big on the other side of him, bro.
Yeah.
Even though Diggy Zua had a lot of highlights this year, man, and he popped on tape. But if I think if Diggy Zua had somebody 340 on the other side of him, man, he could get to a similar type of player like Aaron. I'm not calling him Aaron Donald, but he can get there. 21, what you think?
I mean, that's the big hole we're trying to fill right now. So we need to stop that run, and it's got to be somebody in there. I think that I don't know, man. We giving up on Mozzie. We giving up on Mozzie,
I
but
know. Don't give up on Mozzie yet. Don't
I
give
feel
up
like
on the
we
man.
gotta still we gotta give him that sophomore. Let's.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Let's be patient. You're
And then
right.
remember, and to add to what you're saying, Greg Ellis is going to be the new D line coach. Just to throw it in there, maybe Greg Ellis could help him out. When they say Greg Ellis, I always think Randy Moss, and that's just for something else totally
Yeah.
entirely. But Greg Ellis is there. But like I said, dude, I'm telling you, look up Grover Stewart, number one win rate in running plays. He's played for the Colts. He is 6'4", 315 pounds. If we're not gonna get Chris Jones, let's get the Kroger version of Chris Jones, the generic or the great way of Chris Jones. For real.
Oh man, so 21. Back to what you saying. You was basically saying let's be patient with Mozzie. Let's check out his all season. I mean,
I want to check out his offseason. I feel like he's got to improve. There's got to be improvement. There has to be. We saw what kind of season you had, and there's got to be better than that. So I think he's got to see it himself. But what's crazy is we talk about it, and I don't see like I see Brock Hoffman. We talked about Brock Hoffman earlier, and I see him putting in work already. But we'll see, and I want to see with Mozzie. I'm still not giving up hope on Mozzie. So hopefully, we drafted him for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Rue, you got any interest in Christian Watkins from the Dolphins?
Ooh. It's funny. I wrote his name down. Christian. You talking about Christian Wilkins?
Wilkins. I'm sorry. Wilkins.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
I did actually. That's crazy. I didn't think anybody else would have said that. No shit. I literally wrote his name down under my linebackers. Like that tripped me out. I was like, did you just look at my notepad or some shit? But no. No, and I really like him. And at the end of the day, man, when you put Osa next to somebody with that kind of size, I mean, think about what he did through like the first 10 weeks with Jonathan Hankins. He was one of the top rated defensive interior defensemen the entire season. He was killing it. And then as soon as Hankins went down for those few weeks, everything kind of changed because they started moving bodies in there. Mozzie kind of wasn't holding up his weight, and I hate to beat the Mozzie horse down because at the end of the day, it's only his rookie season. But that first round pick comes with expectations. There's expectations when you're the first round pick, and when you're the first round pick of this team, you're under the microscope all day, every day. They're going to be talking about you. You're going to go down as that guy, and everybody's going to remind you about Taco Charlton, just because it is what it is. But at the end of the day, at this position, it's kind of tough, right? It kind of comes down to how do they fit? Do they fit? Is that the size that Zimmer wants? But I like Christian Wilkins. I definitely had my eye on him, and I feel like he could be one of those guys that kind of comes into the fold for this team for sure. But damn, that's crazy. I didn't even tell you about that. That's insane.
Nope. I was just thinking about it. Hey, okay, let's move to our secondary. Now we know Stephon Gilmore is up. He's a free agent, a Cowboy free agent, and I think it's a big priority to re-sign him. I heard some people say to let him walk, and I was just like,
no,
why? That makes no sense to me. So any of these cornerbacks on this list, man, are y'all interested in any of them?
Number 7. I want bring him back.
Cheeto Bay. Let's get Chidobe.
Chidobe Awuzie?
I'll take a Levi Wallace. I ain't gonna front. He's a big body. I like me some Levi Wallace, not just because I coached against him or because he's from Tucson High, because I like the kid.
Okay.
I mean, how big is everybody on bringing back Stephon Gilmore?
I'm big on it.
100%.
I'm
100%.
all in on Stephon Gilmore. I
Yeah,
feel like
I'm
he'd
all-
come
I'm
in
all
for the
in
right
too,
price.
21.
Yeah, I
And,
think
and not
there's
just
no
because
doubt.
his ability, because what he does for the room, the knowledge, and with our coach, with Al Harris, it's like having two coaches. It's great for our secondary. Period.
Right. Anybody
The
interested
one
in Tim?
the one guy that I don't think we're gonna bring back is number one, our safety, Curse.
Hurst.
Jaron Curse.
Jaron Curse, and you know what? He just had a bad couple of games, man. He just fouled himself. I think he's necessary for us to bring him back.
Shit, ever since he switched to number one, he ain't played good to me.
You're
That's just
right.
my
It's
opinion.
Boss Man
down a
Fat
lot,
fucked
though.
that one all up.
Ever since he switched to number one, it just seemed like, maybe it's just me. You know, I thought we had at one point the 3 best safeties in the league, but when he switched to number one, I just thought his play,
Hey, but that's why Whitfield Jr. wouldn't be bad, boy. It
y'all
wouldn't be
see him?
bad at all.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I just think, man, if we got a lot of needs, man. For a team that went 12-5, doesn't seem like we got a lot of fucking needs for the Cowboys. we need to.
I still feel good about our safety room. I mean, you still
Our
got
safety-
Donovan Wilson.
yeah.
Our safety room is solid. Like, let's not
Mhm.
tarnish that room now. That safety room is one of the
It's just
strongest
the-
rooms in the
it's
building.
just how bad they looked at times. Just because Donovan Wilson did have his moments, but sometimes he did some.
Damn it, man!
stupid shit. Same thing with Hooker.
But no, man, they were playing small ball for too long. It was too long for the small ball. They got tired. I mean, they straight up got tired. They really did. And
Can you imagine
then,
if we actually saw Byron Bell, Marquise Bell at safety?
I mean, and let's not forget, guys were moving up. Guys were moving up on every level in our defense. Let's think about it.
Yeah.
Chauncey Golston gained weight, went to the interior. You got Marquise Bell dropped from safety to linebacker. I mean, you have guys that are getting smaller and smaller at every level. It wore on them. It basically came to a forefront. And then, not to mention,
That's a
your
good point, Rube.
defensive coach caps it off with playing dime like 70% of the time when you haven't done that all season in the playoff game. So it's like they're on the field even more in a spot where they're playing in a great run game.
Rube.
And it's just like, bro, how did this just exploded as the
Rube,
season went
just
on?
let it go.
And that's really where it came. That's really what it boiled down to. But we can't poo-poo on the safety room. We got good safeties.
But we're drinking the Kool-Aid, Rube.
We got
fucking
good
up the
safeties.
purple
No, I'll
Kool-Aid.
stand on that shit. I don't give a damn. We got good safeties.
It's purple. It's so good.
We do.
That's one
All
right
right.
there.
All right, man. So, hey, man, that's our free agent list. You know what? We didn't talk about this. When we was talking about O-line, and I actually omitted it. On Pro Football Focus, y'all know who the number 14th, the 14th overall free agent is? Tyron Smith.
He said he ain't retiring. You know where he's gonna be?
Tyron is number 14. Are we bringing back Tyron?
Second team All Pro. You damn Skippy was bringing him back. Y'all said his tire was flat 4 years ago when I met you, and he's still chucking.
I did. I said it. I did.
Yeah, but we took the Greg Popovich approach. We've set his ass down. How many times did we sit his ass down?
You know what?
What did McCarthy? What did the
He just didn't
McCarthy say?
practice.
21 that we give him the Hall of Fame practice schedule.
The Hall of
Is that
Fame
what
treatment.
McCarthy
man.
said? Yeah.
I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think he goes anywhere if he doesn't come
I don't
back
think
here.
so.
Nobody's
Would-
going to treat him the way we did. Nobody's
Would
going to
you-
understand what it takes to make him last through a whole season, which they did figure out how to do.
Yeah.
Like none of us, not a single one of us ever thought that he was going to last more than 10 games this year. Not a one of us.
No, he fooled us. He did. He
we were
did.
praying for
Overachieved.
double-digit games from him. Praying for it. And he
If there
gave
was
it
an
to us
over-under,
tenfold.
we all would have lost.
Absolutely.
Rube.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. We'd
Rube.
all lost money. Vegas would have cashed out.
What would you pay him? What would you pay him?
Veteran minimum.
He's the
With
number
incentives,
14th.
though. With
He's the number
incentives.
14th
with
overall.
incentives to play. Veteran minimum with incentives to play. It's the same deal he's got, man. Where else he
Yeah,
gonna
same
go?
deal he's
If
got.
he really want to play and he want to get treated the way he get treated here, this is the only place he can go. Nobody, where is he gonna go?
And
That's
you know
gonna bring in
what?
a new face
And if
and
they
then let them
scratch
do
his
what they
back,
want to do.
I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain about it because
Neither.
how much, like you said earlier, Chris, did he do that for us?
Yeah, he did it about 4 times. He restructures his contract. Yeah, about 4 times.
And dude, you know
The
what?
fact is,
And
we need to draft one.
we have Lyle
Like-
Collins on our roster. You know that, right?
Yeah, we still got live, but then we still got Awesome Richards who didn't even touch
Yeah.
the field when he got hurt.
Yes, sir. Dude, Hoffman,
you know what, though, Chris?
Richards, Overshown. There's players that we didn't see that we're gonna be able to see. Like it's like having with Awesome Richards and Overshown, it's like 2 other draft picks that we have. Like
Right.
the spades that you got up your sleeve, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Rue. What was you saying?
Shit, I forgot. But
Sorry, Bubba.
No problem. 21. So we all agree we should bring Tyron back. Rue said veteran minimum for him. I don't think he'll play for veteran minimum. I'm thinking 2 years, 12 million. What you think?
I like the number, and because I think that this year what he did as far as prove everybody wrong, I think that's what he's gonna want. I don't think he's like I said. I like the big fella says. I don't think he's gonna do the veteran minimum. But then again, you know, to like Mikey says, to stay here and get treated the way you're treated here, it's why wouldn't you want to take that? But I think that he kind of he showed, hey, look, I still got it. So I would give him the I would give him a contract, another 2 years, 12.
12. Yeah. Let's see. I was trying to find his age, man. Let's see.
I think he's
12.
I think
he's
because
31.
Yeah, he's 31 or something. He's
He
in his
just
30s.
turned 31, but don't it seem like he didn't play for the Cowboys 20 years?
Yeah, for sure.
He started when he was 19.
19
he's
19
been
years
here for a hot
old
minute.
in the
Been here for a hot
NFL.
minute.
In the NFL.
Been here for a hot
19.
minute.
That's awesome.
No, but
Look, go
you
ahead,
know
go
though, with Tyron though, the reason I it's one more year, and really, man, by the end of this year, you're hoping a guy like Lyle, you're hoping a guy like Awesome, builds up and takes that spot over.
He's 33.
That's really what you're. Yeah,
33.
33.
Mhm.
Holy hell!
Wow.
Almost
Jesus.
half his life. That's crazy.
It was the Cowboys. All right.
Seriously,
He's 33. He
He's
got
on his
number-
way. He's
started
on his
at
way.
19.
he's on
He
his
started
way.
at
We
19.
know the Cowboys love to stay comfortable, so there's a good chance he'll still be here. Damn it.
Dude, that's hilarious, bro.
But
He was 19 turning 20. Okay.
that's insane.
Drafted at 19. He was 19 years old. Jesus.
33.
But can you imagine? Think about
With
it.
a knee brace on his arm.
Oh, he was starting. He was USC at a Power 5 conference at 17. He was starting.
Yes, sir.
He got the stone cold on his forearm.
Hey,
Yes,
bro.
Stone Cold. Yes, Stone Cold
Hey,
Steve.
as much as I dogged out Tyron about his flat tires and everything, you got to put respect on that man's name.
Yeah.
He been
No doubt.
playing at an elite level, man, since the kid was 17 fucking years old.
Yes, sir. No, but
17.
and especially recently, like we said, we do that over under. We all lost. He had an
Yes,
amazing
absolutely.
season
He had a great
considering
year.
what you just said, all the words you uttered, and we counted him out. And he was a second team All Pro. And I would always argue with you and be too real. I would rather take Tyron at 70%, which makes him 90% better than the league.
Right.
Than anybody in the league. There's the exceptions. Trent Williams is older than Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith's been better than Trent Williams. Trent Williams has just had a renaissance.
Yeah, he was good. Trent was good his second year in Washington, and then he's been good the whole time he's with the Niners. So
Because
let's
D
go, man.
Word owned his ass.
D-Word did. Hey, he I saw a TikTok about that, and he was like, "Man, my rookie season, that dude wore my ass out." But look, man, we've been on a while, so let me get some final thoughts, man. Well, Mikey, we'll let you go first, then Rue, and then I'll go, and we'll end it with the great 21. Go ahead.
Well,
Mikey.
just another week, and it's coming. Just remember, this is the season of tagging. Tagging starts today.
Yeah, it
Teams
did.
could tag their players, and it's very funny. People could say, "Yeah, we could tag Dak Prescott," but Dak Prescott has that no tag clause that was smart and part of him and his negotiations. And who would we tag if we would tag? I really don't see any player we're gonna tag this year. So don't hold your breath for another Tony Pollard tag, because it's not going to happen. But that's interesting in our teams. And like yes, we're getting that bitter taste in our mouth, and this purple Kool-Aid does taste good, makes you excited for the rest of this year, because you hear ugly words like pitchers and catchers reporting, yuck, and we want to just go on forward. Just be safe. You want to add, we appreciate you tuning in to the Cowboy Up podcast. You know,
Rue, go ahead with your final thoughts, Rue.
Man, thank you everybody for being here. How the hell you even follow that? That was epic. That was beautiful. It was like you practiced that shit. That shit was great. I'm not even gonna lie. He fucking nailed that shit. He fucking smacked that over. I was like, God damn, Mikey. Oh, fucking practice that shit in the mirror. Don't even lie to me. He was just like, motherfucker. I'm gonna get that
speaking about
outro,
you.
bitch. I believe it. I believe it. He fucking nailed it. It was beautiful. But man, I'm really focused on what's going to happen with these players that we've got coming up due. That's really what the target is for me right now, because I feel like nothing else matters until we figured out what happens with Micah, what happens with CD, and most of all, what happens with Dak Prescott. I'm truly holding out hope that he takes some kind of friendly Pat Mahomes long-term style deal. If you're going to extend him, go all in and freaking extend him. It is what it is at this point. You've already painted yourself in this corner, because if we don't, and we just pay him this $60 million and we eat it for the rest of the year, we're not going to see no movement on this team whatsoever. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to move, because it can't. It won't. And we'll be stuck with what we have. And the only thing that we can even think about is, what are they going to do with what's coming up? And that's the only thing I'm waiting for. June 1st is going to be a very big day, because June 1st, everything changes. We're going to start seeing some names drop off. We're going to start seeing some more names become available. Things are going to shift June 1st. Right now, you're seeing what's available free and clear. Once June 1st hits, everything changes, and there's going to be a whole new bunch of shit that happens. So at the end of the day, what happens now with this team is all internal for me. And that's really what I'm focused on, is what is it going to be internally, because that's where it's all going to start for everything else to happen. And shit, it was a hell of a show, hell of a night. And thank you all for joining. Like, join, and subscribe, baby. Cowboy up.
All right. Well, my final thoughts is this, man. I am actually going to rely on our front office again to make great and positive decisions. Since they've made their announcement that we're going all in, well, I want you to prove it to me. Okay. I'm at that show me state with the Cowboys front office. Okay, we discuss free agents. We discuss our personal free agents on the team. We just want to know what our direction is right now. We know Dak is due. He gonna get his money. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Other players on the team has already announced they want to be the highest paid in the NFL, but the Cowboys have to make a decision, and that decision is who we going to keep, who we going to pay, and how we're going to go forward to get to number 6. So that's my focus. Front office, step your ass up and show me something. 21, you got the last and final thoughts of the night.
Can you do some for me?
The Kool-Aid, man. Mike talks about we drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's we mixing it up right now, and it's starting to get nice and icy, and it's looking good. But it's all in. If we're really all in, we got to see it from the front office, like the big fella says. that number 6 is there, man. I feel like these next couple of years, it's there for the taking, and we have to get it. But we gotta see something. We always talk about off season, but Cowboys, there's really no off season, man. We're always looking for something. What's the next big news? And and I think with these next months coming up until the draft, we're gonna just wait to see what's gonna happen. So I'm excited. Thank you all for joining. Everybody that joined, everybody that commented, I appreciate you guys. The Cowboy Up podcast. We're gonna be bringing it live. So thank you guys once again. Hit that like button, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Follow.
Follow.
I appreciate you guys. Follow us, man. Check us out on all socials if you guys can. Appreciate you, man. Cowboy Up.
Press that little bell, get that ding, get that notification. Remember, if you like us, tell your friends about us. And one more thing, free agent season, considering this is topic, starts March 13th. So like who you like, and we'll see, because this season's already going. The combine's coming. Everything is happening like a freight train. Like, subscribe. You already know.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Tell your friends about us.
This is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's just gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to do something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
Extra thought on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!